what kind of draft are we going to be seeing? Because Nyx very popular on this, Anarchy very popular on this, even Ranger, right? We see a lot of Ranger on Blood Covenant.
Speaking of popular, we see Scalebearer and Ranger both getting picked. Scalebearer, I think one of the favoured big bodies on this map in particular. As you can see, Visor getting selected as well. Nyx, to the surprise of no one, I think, very popular champion on this map. And Blakovic just going in for, I guess, the ability to just do the crazy damage. Really regardless of what champion we see. Speaking of which, final pick,
there we go.
Clutch. We're wasting no time. We're going straight in with Clutch. But interestingly, we did see Clutch get selected last. Now, that could have been, bear in mind, you're not locked into a certain champion when you
didn't have
pick
to
that
play them in
champion
the
first.
order you place them, right? You get to choose when the map starts, you then get to swap around.
But I think that really opens up. The draft phase can be one of the most important phases because you see the opponents picking these different champions, but sometimes a champion is picked as a direct answer to something that you saw. So what we could have totally seen there was we might have seen Clutch get selected because the final champion, I believe it was dem0n that selected with the Blaskovic. Clutch is, in some ways, a complete direct answer to Blaskovic's dual wield because he basically soaks up all damage. Bear in mind the shield is completely invincible, lasts a very similar amount of time to the dual wield, so maybe it's a matter of going, well, I've now got this final selection. I've seen a champion you've picked, almost like your trump card, to do this crazy damage. Here's a champion to just shut that down completely.
Well, we actually see that a lot from Clutch specifically, and why we see him get picked.
He just works against so many champions.
I mean, I don't want to go as far as to say that he's like anti-meta, but at the same time, a lot of popular champions that we see almost every map, he does very well against. You know, being able to see Nyx through her Ghost Walk through his barrier, being able to counter Blaskovic's dual wield damage, being able to chase down characters like Anarchy and Nyx particularly who want to just run away from him as fast as possible. He really does a good job of dealing with that.
Already, dem0n's been able to sort of control that rail location. Even though polterizer did manage to collect that rail, we did take damage in the process, and right there would have potentially walked right into that, but polterizer shooting the floor by mistake. Yeah, gonna have to try and really bait him into collecting that armor. Maybe try to
slow pace start, obviously controlling over the rail. Can't really play around that too much. I mean, the damage from a rail is damage. We can see polterizer already taken down to quite low, but managing to stock himself up a little bit. Yeah, they're going to trade that mega health, the heavy armor once again. But I feel, as you know, it's actually dem0n picking Blaskovic last. However, gets the combo, doesn't kill it, tries to chase it down, and does land that rail. Bear in mind, there's a lot of downtime in between those rail shots. If that missed, dem0n would have been in a heap of trouble, but very confident gameplay. Polterizer on Visor already. Speaking of Visor, though, we do see him quite a lot on Blood Covenant. Seems very effective. I mean, let's not forget his ability, that piercing sight. We can hear he's just
we just heard
exactly.
it.
A piercing sight basically gives him that kind of like X-ray vision through walls. So the way on our spectator cam we can see X-ray through the walls, he basically sees that himself.
Now, polterizer, he is caught in a very bad spot. He does manage to get one rail off. Bear in mind, 70 HP if dem0n, if he caught that rail, might have actually traded the frag, but I don't think he was going to try and commit to that. The last thing you want to do is give up two champions so early on. Bear in mind, I think Blaskovic as well with that natural passive where he's going to regenerate to the next 25 health if he's ever so slightly under it. But right now, dem0n, he's been really sort of commanding that long range with the rail.
It's good he's just putting a lot of emphasis on making these fights rail focused, right? We're not really seeing any other weaponry from him right now, but it's being quite comfortable. But he's picked up that heavy armor, be good for him. But now we can see polterizer getting the better of these trades, starting to connect a bit more rail shots himself now.
Yeah, I feel like polterizer's been missing quite a few rails though. Like he's getting some good read on where he, clearly knows dem0n's going to be, but he's not getting the payout. Accuracy is kind of letting him down somewhat here. Nice prediction, going straight in with the dual wield, waiting no time, catches him going left, going in for another rocket. Can he survive though? 85 HP is still more than enough to get the job done. However, at this health, he can't tank a rail, but then again, I spoke too soon. This is Blaskovic we're talking about, straight back up to 100.
Yeah, and he has already managed to, unfortunately, I don't want to say waste that dual wield, but definitely didn't get as much mileage out of it as normal. But
that rocket jump was just to not take a rail, I think. Get around as quickly as possible, doesn't quite get
also
the rail.
Just being up here, we can see the mega health is up very soon. Looks like dem0n's, is he heading towards it now? Yeah, it looks like he might be. Yeah, indeed, knows polterizer's over near rocket, so he hasn't got to worry about getting contested from this range, but
I don't know, actually, didn't look particularly sure where polterizer was going to be. As we saw, he was super far away, heading towards rocket, but he was looking almost near LG in that situation. But
or missing these rockets though, dem0n getting a little bit more predictive with these shots as opposed to reactive.
Going down in for the heavy armor once again, and so far, dem0n doing such a good job of just controlling both of these major health pickups. Bear in mind, 3 minutes left. Remember guys, you can time out in Quake Champions. If you've got more champions than the opponent, by the end of that 5 minute mark, you will go up a round. That's 3 out of 5 rounds.
Well, as you can speak about the time though.
Oh, caught him on the jump pad, but polterizer actually not committing.
I was actually just about to say, neither of these players so far are really committing to these fights. They're quite content just poking each other down with damage here and there, but they're not quite full committing at the moment. But at the same time, you know, as they're sort of playing this sort of passive style, dem0n's definitely going
misses a rail.
And unless he gets taken down, polterizer gets that champion kill. Now it's evened out, so dem0n was playing super slow, but had the champion advantage. Now no longer the case.
Now let's take a look at this matchup, right? Nyx versus Visor. Normally that Ghost Walk is such an ace in the hole, you know, being able to get away. Wow, walking straight into the Tri-Bolt, taking a little bit of damage there. But I think it's almost be an uncontested mega health.
But it's like you said, that Visor piercing sight goes through that Ghost Walk, that Nyx invisibility.
Oh wow, being really aggressive.
Yeah, there we go. And the Ghost Walk is forced out, but he doesn't have piercing sight up, so he can't chase her.
Yeah, in this one instance, he's not going to be able to use it. Does manage to get a rail. Now dem0n in a very bad situation, misses the rail. That could have been a frag, misses a second one, and now polterizer forced to get out of there. Might be kicking himself over a couple of those misses, I think, especially with that 1 minute warning. 45 seconds and this round will be over. If he frags dem0n right there, he could have potentially just ran away from Scalebearer for the rest of the round.
But, you know, at the very least, we are still in this round one of, you know, let's not forget, it's first 2 maps in the series, but 3 out of 5 rounds per map, so they have all the time in the world to figure this out. So they're taking it slow right from the off. It means at the very least, maybe we have quite a passive set ahead of us. But polterizer is getting a lot of
he's got that read.
Nearly killed. Oh, the Ghost Walk comes out, the rocket doesn't quite connect for max damage, but taking away the majority of that armor.
See right here, polterizer really nicely loaded up on weapons, especially against Nyx with that low health pool. There we go.
polterizer finally has control of mega health. dem0n getting a little bit of sort of a glancing rocket, but not quite enough to take off this mega health. That one, on the other hand, is doing quite a lot of damage. dem0n able to force him away again, but polterizer doing a good job of just topping himself up in between. Now armor though. dem0n can get a good rail here.
I wonder if dem0n's going to try and chase this. No, being super passive, even with the armor advantage. Kind of surprising to see. So last minute, I mean, like...
Perhaps dem0n thought he'd already picked up the heavy armor though, because he was potentially fighting near it.
Now we are in sudden death, bear in mind. Next frag's going to win. Catches him mid-rocket jump, so he does damage to himself already. dem0n's in big trouble, but polterizer again. Not looking to chase too hard. I think he maybe predicts that he's up top, but he was underneath him the entire time.
He doesn't need to predict. He has the piercing sight. He could have popped that there and got the chase on, but I think he's, again, just this passive style. I think he's waiting overtime, though, so next frag will win.
I think polterizer is just waiting for that Ghost Walk. You know, he's saving the piercing sight for that last minute when he manages to get a fight that goes well, eliminating that ability to run away for free that dem0n otherwise normally would have been able to do without having to predict it. Looks like they're both going head-on into each other. Sitting there, can't wait for him to see. There we go. Opting not to go for piercing sight again, though, saving it. Really surprised.
Oh, missed that rail. dem0n's he going to predict him coming out of the teleporter. Goes towards the mega health, picks it up for free. polterizer, I think he's almost being a bit too passive at this point. You know what I mean? Like, he has the tools to deal with Nyx. He has that visor, he has that piercing sight. He does catch dem0n in a few sort of negative situations, but isn't quite content just really pushing it.
I would definitely like to see polterizer be a bit more confident. Did not catch sight of him. Wow, took unnecessary damage. However, kind of minimal damage, really. Could have been much more, seeing he's got ambushed with a rocket launcher. That 58 rocket's going to be good. Can tank a couple more rails. If he goes in right now, he might get it, but takes the damage on that rail himself. And now, with 100 HP, going back towards that mega health. However, the race begins. Nice prediction from dem0n, heading him off, and just confident he was going to go for that mega health when the fight went bad.
Indeed, but polterizer almost went like the majority of that overtime without using the piercing sight.
It was really, I really expected to see it more. I don't know why he held on to it for so long, but I'm sure he has his reasons.
Well, it's like you said, right, he might have just been waiting for that Ghost Walk, but unfortunately it didn't quite work out for him. But back on this Ranger now, and dem0n back on the Blazkowicz.
Didn't even get a chance to see the final champions. Haven't seen dem0n Scalebearer, haven't seen polterizer's clutch just yet.
Well, that's the nature of overtime, right? If the match is going slow enough, you don't really need to see the whole roster.
dem0n tries to get a mid-air right there, doesn't quite land it. He's got to be kind of careful though. I mean, he hasn't really got the fast-firing, almost like hit-scan style weapons. Only had a rocket launcher on hand, but still did really respectable damage, just confidently standing there and controlling the location.
Oh,
wow. Nice, getting a frag really quickly. polterizer on visor already.
That was a good shot. But that's the nature of the rocket. I mean, we can see he's just picked up the mega health, and dem0n sees the power-up's not there, so he just knows polterizer's gone for it. But he himself is controlling the heavy armor though. Oh, there's the dual wield, shredding him down very quickly, and he's chasing this too.
He's taking big damage, dropping to stay on the ground, gets hit by one rail. Bear in mind, he did actually manage to pick up a rail before he walked into that dual wield.
Oh, miss it again though. Oh, polterizer gets that one. This could be the even out, but no, polterizer isn't quite connecting them.
He has to try and dodge these rails for days. He can't afford to take a polterizer actually meeting the rail with the default SMG and managed to win that fight. Polterizer now so weak and dem0n on the chase. All he needs is one rocket, catches it, but again, polterizer with a sliver of health left takes it again. He's still alive.
Oh, dem0n unfortunately fumbles the rocket kill and commits suicide. Polterizer throwing a lifeline, able to secure that mega health in the middle of that 1v1. He did survive.
That was just really unfortunate. dem0n did so well in all of those exchanges, but just couldn't get that final bit of damage he needed. And at the last minute, accidentally blew himself to pieces.
Oh, dem0n trying to control him off that heavy armor. Doesn't want to let him pick it up for free, but unfortunately he damages himself again. Polterizer shoving him all over the place with that lightning gun. dem0n does opposite, just get out of there, pick up the mega health, and on a big beefy character like Scaleberry, you can see how much health he actually gets from that.
Yeah, just short of 200 at this stage. That's more than enough to survive. As you can hear, actually, polterizer predicting the teleporter, but nice patience from dem0n actually to wait it out. Almost second guess it.
polterizer was still there. He is patient till the end. He knew he was going to take that fight, but dem0n still 125 HP. Or a fight with heavy armor though. LG, these giant champions they really can tank these heavy fights, but then again on 17 health at this stage, polterizer, does he have his piercing sight available? That's the question. Definitely heard him running away, but it's going to take quite a while for these larger champions to stack up compared to some lighter ones. Just that extra split second it takes to pick up a health item might be the difference between getting chased down and finished off or not, basically. Indeed, but once again we can see dem0n here. The mega health is up. Needs to play. There we go. I think polterizer must have just picked it up, weighing along the edge. Hops straight into a little bit of a rocket.
Again, a very sort of slow-paced game. Oh, doesn't walk into it. Walks straight in front of him right there.
That point blank row, you can see just how punishing that can be though. Not being able to swap away from the rail until it's sort of, I don't want to say cooled down, but ready to fire again means you can't quite snap to it. Or snap away from it, I should say, as you have been able to before. Gets a nice rail this time though, killing 90 damage, 80 damage, adding up and 3 in a row. dem0n with 3 shots back to back for a clean kill, and polterizer forced on his clutch for the first time.
Now we'll see what his clutch has to offer. Trying to catch him up top, but again,
he's caught early. This could be an early kill.
That's a terrible spot to get caught. No shield wall either. Polterizer just kind of letting that one rock. Maybe expecting to run away, but either way, we didn't even get a chance to see his clutch in action there. Just completely destroyed.
It does seem a little bit like polterizer is being a little bit too, I don't want to say greedy, but he's clinging on to these abilities a little bit too much. Like you pick a champion for the utility, you know, because you want that passive, you want that ability, mainly the ability. But right now, polterizer just isn't getting as much use out of them as he probably could have. And, you know, on the other side, dem0n always ready for that dual wield.
That is definitely one of the answers to clutch, is to almost like rush him down. If you catch him on a good spawn, don't let him get the weapons he needs to become the headache that clutch can become when he's fully ready to go.
Oh, and as the LG gets the dual wield out, this is bad for polterizer. Almost manages to even it out with that rocket, but once again, dem0n just prevails in the 1v1.
Ultimately, I think it's a matter of polterizer being unbelievably passive and dem0n just knowing when to go in. You know,
well, this is how dem0n was playing at the start, but as dem0n's getting more aggressive, polterizer remains to be this careful. Which is understandable. It's definitely better not to rush these duels, but at the same time, there comes a point that you just need to take those fights and have a bit of confidence.
Well, I mean, if you can just do the math right, you know how much health or armor your opponent is likely to be on, you know what pickups have been taken. Just doing the math of how much damage you've done, knowing when you can chase or can't chase. There's been a couple of instances there where polterizer really has been able to chase it down if he wants to, but he's been a little bit held back on doing that, and because of it, he's let some frags go kind of unpunished.
It's the health regen of Blazkowicz though, on the way up. Oh, he gets caught with the dual wield on the way up. Yeah, this could be a guaranteed kill. Once again, dem0n with that dual wield. As soon as he sees polterizer there, he's visor. He has no quick way to get away.
Once again, he's got that really, really good respawn. Polterizer forced in a terrible situation. dem0n is right near him, and clutch with just a regular nail gun. He does not have what he needs to survive this fight, especially when he's getting railed from distance. He needs to make something happen, but at this stage, yeah. Actually, at the last minute, I don't agree with the option to use the shield wall to go into the orbital drill. We saw the drill used at the last minute, almost to try and contest with that range, but